Hey everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica. On today's video, we're going to be doing a full day Foundation Friday wear test of the Joah Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation Drop Foundation. So, I am also filming a full day of Joah products. So, if you're interested in like a full day first impression, or not a full day first impression, if you're interested in a first impression of the Joah products, stay tuned. This video is going to be going up probably in about 2 weeks after I get a little bit more feel for the products. You'll see when I get there. But today I'm going to be doing the full day wear test of this foundation. So this is a brand that is somewhat new. I think it just came out within the last couple of months to CVS. It's solely carried at CVS in the US to my knowledge. I don't think it's carried anywhere else. But this is supposed to be K-beauty inspired. I am going to go to the website and read to you about this foundation. Before I do, what's on my face? I have the Pixie by Petra Hydrating Milky Mist on my face because I do like to start with that usually when I'm doing a foundation review. I'm also using this primer from Joah. This is the Selfie Ready Pore Minimizing Primer. I know I normally use some other primers that I'm used to, but I figured I'm going to go ahead and try this out. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and go to the Joah Beauty website and read a little bit about this foundation. There's not a whole lot of shades. Looks like there's about 12 shades. This is number 110 in Porcelain, which I believe is their lightest shade. And then the rest are kind of medium shades to like light dark shades, not super dark. So, okay, this is the Joah Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation Drop. It says, look flawless and ready with a little boost from yours truly, available in 12 shades. The benefits are its lightweight coverage. The soft matte foundation enhances your complexion in every way. It's hydrating, brightening, smoothing, accentuating your youthful glow, you name it. There you go. It is cruelty free. That's all they literally have on their website. There are all the shades. So like I said, it looks like kind of medium to light dark shades, not super dark. It looks like there might be one dark shade, but then again, there's only one light shade too. So there you go. When I'm filming this, which is about a week in advance, the website has a sale. I bought these at CVS. They were not on sale at CVS. So there's that. Anyway, this is supposed to be a drop foundation. I've noticed in the past that some other drop foundations that I've tried, I do actually really enjoy. So let's go ahead and get this open. This is, I think it's a glass bottle, but the lid is definitely plastic and it definitely feels like plastic. So I'm going to put this on the back of my hand. Again, I usually like drop foundations. This is moving very, very quickly. So I'm going to be using my Sigma F80 on the right side of my face. And then I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender on the left side of my face. So I'm going to go ahead and get this applied before it all runs off my face, or my hand. And I'll talk to you in just a moment. All right, and that literally was a moment. That blended in super fast, and it went further than I thought, and I didn't even use the whole dropper. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Beauty Blender and pick up that and put the, even with the Beauty Blender, it's giving me really like a lot of coverage. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I used about 1.5 pumps to do my whole face. If I had used my brush, probably would have been able to do just 1 pump, but I typically get a little bit lighter coverage with my Beauty Blender than I do with a brush. I'm typically prefer to use a brush if I'm not doing a foundation review, just because the coverage is usually better. Although I do typically like the finish with a sponge better than with the brush. So I do have problems getting it on my nose. This is actually looking pretty good on my nose. I'm liking the finish, and the amount of coverage is like crazy. I did not expect from a drop foundation or like a water foundation to have that much coverage, like that much pigmentation. That's crazy to me. Okay. Now, it didn't cover my blemishes, but they're pretty red, so I didn't expect it to really cover my blemishes. But on the rest of my face, it looks really nice. My biggest problem is right now I've got very dry skin because it's in the middle of winter, and I'm not sure that this is working the best on my dry skin. My nose looks fantastic, but like right in here, is looking very dry to me. All right, it is right now 9:35, so we're gonna call 9:45 the check-in time. Well, let's call 10 o'clock the check-in time. It might be a little bit later than I actually get my face makeup on, but since I'm going to be filming the rest of my face today for that video in a couple of weeks, we're gonna call 10 o'clock the check-in time. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead, put on the rest of my makeup. It's definitely transferring a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely powder this and put setting spray and everything on. I've got, like I said, a full face of Joah products that I'm going to be using today. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead, put on the rest of my makeup, and I will see you as soon as I'm done. All right, everybody, so I have a full face of Joah on right now. On my lips, I have their lip liner, and this is their matte gel lipstick. On my eyes, I have the I'm So Fly liner on my upper lash line, which is a brush liner. And then I have their auto eyeliner on my waterline in black brown. The liquid eyeliner is in black. I have the Selfie Ready setting powder in translucent all over my face. I do have their concealer, the Truly Yours Dark Circle Concealer on my under eyes and covering my blemishes. And then on my cheeks, I have their powder contour palette. I'm using just the contour shade here, which I just dug my nail into. And then I have their Be My Everything highlighter palette. I'm using the shade Iridescent here in the middle. On my cheeks, I don't have a blush on. And then their mascara, the Ultra Volume Mascara. And the Dewy Setting Spray. I think that's everything. So let's talk about this foundation. I have a couple of concerns. I'm going to zoom you in and show you what I'm talking about. So on my forehead here, it's looking really, really dry. Like super dry on my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see that, if the camera's picking it up. It's one of those things where it might come back around by midday. We'll see. But right now it's looking super dry on my forehead. I feel like on my nose, it's sort of wiped away when I put powder on over top of it. Just like right in here. So I'm not sure what's going on there. That could have had something to do with my sponge, like as I was blending out my concealer with my sponge. I don't think I hit this against my nose, but I'm not sure. So we're going to keep an eye on this area right here of my nose. I think the rest of my nose looks okay. Just this portion here. And then, like I said, the dryness on my forehead. As far as the rest of my face goes, I think the rest of my face is actually looking pretty good. I don't know what you guys think. I forgot to tell you the time. It is 10:16. I was done with my face makeup before 10:15 though, so, but before 10 o'clock though. So we're still going to call 10 o'clock the check-in time. So I will check in at 2 and then again at 6 and let you know my thoughts on this foundation as it wears. If you're interested in my impressions of this these Joah products, I will be posting this video in a couple of weeks. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button so that you do get notified when and hit the notification bell so you do get notified when I do post this. I'm doing, like I said, kind of a first impression and a follow-up video in one. So you'll be seeing this video in a couple weeks. But as far as the foundation goes, other than that weird looking like dryness on my forehead, I think it's actually looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. So, all right, I will check in a few hours and we'll see how it's going then. All right, y'all, it is midday. I'm a little bit late because I was doing something. It is 2:29, so about a half an hour late. But let's take a look at this foundation. I'm going to stand in the sunlight here for a second. My neighbor, I think, is cleaning leaves out of their gutters. So if you hear any noise, that's probably what it is. So all right, I'm going to step back into the shadow a little bit here so I can see. It's still kind of powdery. Like if you look at my forehead, it's looking super powdery, and it's actually looking kind of powdery like down here on my chin too. What's weird is that it is not really breaking up too much on my chin. it's just looking kind of powdery, and I'm a little concerned that it might be the actual powder that I put on my face, because I use a powder that I'm not used to. It's a brand new powder to me. So I'm not sure exactly how that is affecting what I'm wearing. My lipstick's almost worn off, not entirely, but yeah, I'm just looking at this, and my biggest complaint is how powdery it looks. Now I do have my smile line here. It's sort of settled in there. But my forehead line, it's not too bad. But then again, it looks powdery on my forehead. So I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I will let you guys know in another like 3.5, 4 hours what it's looking like this evening. I'm almost thinking that this would look better in the summer when my natural oils were coming out. But for now, it's just kind of weird the way it's looking so powdery. I don't know. It doesn't feel bad. Like, there's a couple of spots that I've been itchy in, but for the most part, it doesn't feel bad. So, all right, I will check in with you guys in a couple of hours. All right, everybody, so I am wearing this foundation for the second time. This is the Joah Drop Foundation, and I did a couple of things differently this time. Number one, I only used one pump of the foundation, just one, and it was almost too much. This spread across my face tremendously. So this is actually almost too much foundation in one pump. Sorry, I'm upstairs in my beauty room. There's the lights behind me. But anyway, it was almost too much foundation in one pump for my entire face. I probably could maybe do 3/4 of a pump in the future and get just fine coverage. But I did want to point out a couple of things. I used my Tatcha primer, which is the one I normally use in my foundation reviews, and I used my Physicians Formula powders that I normally use in my foundation reviews, and I am not getting anywhere near the weird textures that I got in this foundation the last time I wore it. I think specifically it is the Joah powder is what I'm thinking. I'm actually going to be trying that powder with a different foundation just to confirm that before I give you the wrap up of my Joah product review I'm going to be posting in a couple of weeks. But right now I'm thinking it actually looks really good. This is about 4 hours in, about 3.5, 4 hours in is where I'm at with wearing this. Yeah, 4? It's actually probably over 4 hours in. So, I mean, I do have like a little line here. That's, you know, my age coming out. It is cracked a little bit on my chin, but what foundation isn't cracked on my chin? You know what I mean? So overall, this is looking a lot better today than I feel like it wore the first time around. Like I said, the texture that I was getting on my forehead is gone. It's completely gone. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm liking this a lot better this time around than I did the first time. And I didn't think it was bad the first time around, but I didn't like the way that it was breaking up on my skin and giving me that like weird, like powdery texture on my forehead. And you can see with my normal primer and my normal powder, I'm not getting that. So I think it's the powder. I have to try it a couple more times before I can give you my full review on that. But yeah, just wanted to give you that quick update. All right, y'all, it is the end of my day for this foundation at the least. It is 6:27, so I'm about a half an hour late. That's okay. This foundation hasn't really been that much of a problem. So let's go ahead and talk about any issues that I'm having. You are already zoomed in, so this is about as good as you're going to get. I will say this. My forehead still looks powdery. I'm hoping at some point during the day the camera has picked that up. Now, this is the first time I'm using the Joah translucent setting powder. I will reuse this foundation again with my standard powder, the Physicians Formula powder that I always use, and I will leave something in the description bar below. If I film it, you probably have already seen it. I would put it in between the midday check-in and this check-in. If I filmed it, you will have already seen it. So maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. I don't know. Anyhow, so I will try it again with my normal powder to see if maybe it is the powder. If it isn't the powder, if it is really just that powdery looking, I probably won't film it. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to use this again before this video posts. Like I said, I'm filming this about a week in advance, so I have several days that I can still try it again. Other than that, my chin looks like it's worn off a little bit just right down here. Not horribly. I think it's worn off actually fairly naturally. My nose is looking a little bit splotchy-ish, kind of. I don't know. But with how much I emote throughout the day, this has actually stayed pretty well. It is in my nose crease over here, a little bit on that side too, but those are I have pretty deep nose creases. It just is what it is. I have a bulbous bottom nose, and that's okay. But for as much as I emote, I expected more cracking along my chin, which this one has not. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It has not really broken up too badly. Some of my more recent foundation reviews, my chin gets very cracked throughout the day. But it's not doing too badly. It definitely is not full coverage. You can still see redness on my cheeks here where my natural redness is coming out. There is one thing that I'm sort of curious about, so bear with me for 1 second. I wanted to try this. I have my beauty blender here that I used this morning. I haven't washed it yet, so I'm gonna actually spray this with some MAC Fix Plus. I'm gonna actually do it this way so it doesn't get all over my mirror. And I'm going to take this dampened beauty blender and just sort of tap this to see if that helps at all. I've seen some people do this in other videos, and I was curious to see if this would help this foundation. It doesn't look like it did too much, at least not for the problems that I'm noticing. It just looks really, really like powdery right in here along my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm hoping at some point throughout the day the camera did pick that up. And I think I just took all the foundation off my nose. So it is the end of the night. I'm going to take this foundation off anyway. It's okay. It was not a bad foundation, given that it's drugstore price, it's in the drugstore, and it is a dropper foundation. There are some other dropper foundations that I'm going to be trying out here in the near future, but overall this wasn't bad. This wasn't bad at all. If you are interested in trying it, you have maybe a coupon from CVS, or it goes on a buy one get one free, or 50% off. They don't have buy one get one frees anymore on makeup, do they? I'm old. But buy one get one 50% off. Sale. I don't go into CVS very often. In fact, I think this might have only been the second or third time, well, in 2018, because I bought it in 2018, that I was in a CVS. I just don't go in there very often. My teenager works for Rite Aid, so I go to Rite Aid more often than not. Plus, Rite Aid's closer to my house. But anyway, yeah, overall, I don't think this was bad. I don't know what you guys thought of it before I took the foundation off my nose. And I'm actually really impressed with the lip liner as well. Like, you can still see it, and I ate lunch and I've wiped my mouth with napkins, and this lip liner is still hanging on. The lipstick actually held on pretty well too. So, but my full review of that will be coming in a couple of weeks. Anyhow, yeah, not a bad foundation. Not a bad foundation. I'm going to try it again with powders that I like and see how it works out that way. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like Foundation Fridays, if you like this video, if you just like me, hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to hit the little red subscribe button as well. I do appreciate it. I do Foundation Friday every Friday. And hit the notification bell as well. If you don't hit the notification bell, you know, it's okay. But hit the subscribe button so at least at some point maybe my videos will show up in your feed. If you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. Have you tried out the Joah foundation? I will be trying it out for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be in my Shop My Stash that's coming up on Monday. It will be my first Shop My Stash. I am including my foundations from Foundation Friday in my Shop My Stash videos. So I will have that in my upcoming Shop My Stash video as well, so I will be trying it over the next couple of weeks, and I think that's it. Oh, I also opened my own online boutique. If you have not seen it, or if you are interested in any way, shape, or form, the link is in the description bar down below. It is niminies.com. I opened it with my sister a couple months ago, and we're having a lot of fun doing that, so if you wouldn't mind checking it out, I appreciate that too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye!